Welcome back to video number 2, you guys. Yes, I know that's Johnny because Johnny's in here. We have some news on Johnny in case you haven't heard, but let's jump in and cover the royals first. Okay, there's a lot. Let's go. All right, articles are coming out saying that there were all kinds of things going on while the king and queen went down under. But believe it or not, I've already covered a whole bunch of them for you. So I'm just going to touch on the ones that I might have missed as well as other things. Okay, let's go. On October 24th, the Duke of Kent attended the Trophies and Awards banquet at Guildhall. He was there for the Honorable Company of Air Pilots. I love that. Next up, we have on October 21st, the Duchess of Gloucester. She is the patron of cruise bereavement support, and she received the chief executive and the director of income generation and marketing. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, those are the only 2 items that I missed. Whew, I'm on it. All right, let's move on to our other stuff. Let's move on to Duchess Sophie. She met the Minister of Foreign Affairs at the Democratic Republic of Congo. I hope I'm saying this right. Teresa Kayikwamba Wagner. They sat down to talk on women's peace, women's security. They talked about different stories of women from around the world and how Duchess Sophie is working to make it, the world a better place for women. It's being said that this meeting clearly shows that the royal family is relying more and more on Duchess Sophie and that she's showing how invaluable she is to the royal family. I love that. All right. And of course, a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us what she was wearing. Gorgeous. Let's move on. Next up, Princess Beatrice was spotted along with Eugenie at a Saudi eco-investment conference. Apparently, she is like a cultural ambassador of sorts for the UK in the Middle East. I think she looks lovely. She's still glowing. It's the pregnancy thing. All right, moving on. Next up, we have the Duke of Kent again. On October 22nd, he met with beneficiaries, staff, and supporters of the Royal Air Force Benevolent Fund. This was hosted by the Royal Air Force Museum in Hendon. Now, he has been president of this fund, in case you don't know, for 55 years. And he met with the veterans who were supported by this community outreach team. They get group friendship breaks, telephone friendship groups, and dementia reminiscent groups. He spoke with the fund's outreach team about the impact their work is having in the community, and he also made a visit to the Short Sutherland aircraft, which is on display in the museum, because this is the same type of aircraft that the Duke of Kent's father was killed in the aircraft crash in 1942. All right, let's move on. All right, a few days ago, on behalf of the king, the Princess Royal held the 21st investiture at Windsor Castle. And this was, just FYI, the 31st investiture of the royal family for 2024. One of the first people was Joseph Coelho. I think I'm saying that correctly. He was made an officer of the Order of the British Empire in honor of services to the arts, to children's reading and literature. Another person who was recognized by Princess Anne is Christopher Powell, who is a former professional footballer and a coach. Another person was Nicola Abraham. Obviously, there were a lot of people. I can't mention them all, but congratulations to all of them. Still sticking with Princess Anne, she went to a charity which supports the families of seafarers for more than 200 years. And apparently they invited some of the most dedicated partners to a royal presentation as a thank you for their efforts, which range from the historic, they're saying, to almost superhuman. Princess Anne has been the patron of this society since 2003 and renewed that status last year. Now, among the recipients were longstanding supporters. They were presented with a Lifetime Contribution Award. Also honored were members of the Society's 200 Club, which was formed in 2017. And by the way, it's now closed. And they have a charity that's setting up a new partnership program. Commemorative plaques were also handed out, and people said, we're here because we believe in the work of Sailors Children's Society, and we're committed to helping the families who find themselves in financial and emotional crisis through no fault of their own. I love that. Good for her. Okay, time to move on again. Next up, we're going to move on to King Charles. Apparently, it was a 35-hour trip back from the Commonwealth Heads of State of Government meeting in the South Pacific. So they decided to break it up and spend 3 days at a very exclusive, I think it's called the Suka, I hope I'm saying that right, resort. It's very famous for its yoga and wellness programs and treatments that they have there. Just as an FYI, the picture you're looking at above is from 2019, not this trip. Anyway, this place is run by King Charles's holistic health consultant. He's run it for decades. And he said, and I'm quoting, that the royals are the least demanding of their guests. They do morning yoga sessions, they have breakfast, rejuvenation treatments, a vegetarian lunch, then a second round of therapies, midday meals, and they end with meditation session before dinner and lights out by 9 p.m. Yeah, that's right up my alley. It's being reported that King Charles and Queen Camilla have been there several times, and the king loves the tranquility and the focus on, body, mind, and soul. It's 30 acres of lush, tropical, ornamental gardens. I mean, I could see me walking around there. Apparently, they've been there multiple times. Good for him. He deserves the break. Let's move on. And I don't believe this story that's coming out for one damn second. They're saying that King Charles received heartfelt letters from his grandchildren. I don't believe that. He's too busy. We know who leaked this story to the press. Obviously, King Charles, when did he get the letters? While he was in Australia? While he was in the wellness spa? Give me a break. All right, let's move on. All right, he's not a royal, but he should be. Here we go, you guys. Johnny, Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Thompson, Mr. Hotness himself, is officially off the market. He is engaged. Oh. Anyway, the announcement was in the paper and it read, the engagement is announced between Lieutenant Colonel John Thompson, son of Mr. and Mrs. Alan Thompson of Morpeth, Northumberland, and Olivia Rose, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Simon Lewis, OBE of Primrose Hill, London. Apparently, people are like, oh, she broke up, his marriage. No, he was already divorced. And he met her after he was divorced, okay? Now, this woman is a PR executive who used to work for Charles and Camilla. Her father was the former communications head for Queen Elizabeth right after Princess Diana died. And they've been keeping their relationship away from the spotlight, but they were pictured together earlier this summer. A picture came out. And so it only makes sense that they were thrown together. And that's it. They're engaged. He's off the market. All right. Listen, I wish him nothing but the best, but I am a little sad. I want your comments on this one. Oh my God, make them good. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and then go down into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, my Amazon wishlist, and a physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.